Hey there, it's Jamie at Remington Lane Crochet, and I am back with another stitch tutorial. This is the foundation half double crochet stitch, and I've got a swatch here so we can look at it, talk about why we want to do this stitch. I've also created a little swatch of chaining, doing a foundation chain, and then doing row 1 of just regular half double crochet stitches so you can see how these look next to each other, how they resemble each other. And if we inspect them, the foundation half double crochet, it's very stretchy, very forgiving. It's equally stretchy on the top and the bottom, so it's very similar to when you finish off a project. The top of the work is very flexible and loose, whereas if I pull up the one where I chained and done that half double crochets, if I try to tug on it, the top stretches more than the bottom. So if you don't like that, or you're making a project that has a long set of chains and then the entire first row is in half double crochets, you can just substitute the foundation half double crochet instead. I really love doing that. Just gives the project a finished piece, a really nice look. And then if you're making something large like a blanket, the one end of the blanket versus the other, they'll all look pretty seamless, and you won't be able to tell necessarily which end you started on because you won't have that tighter chain at the bottom. So I just suggest that you be on the lookout for places where you can substitute this. I also like to do it when I have to make a really long foundation chain and I get tired of counting. Sometimes I just like to make these and then I can count and feel like I've made a lot of progress because I already have row 1 done as well. So I don't have to, frog it back out when I've made the wrong number of chains. I can just keep going with this. So let's get into how do we make this stitch. Okay, so to get started, we're gonna do a slip knot. Okay, get my yarn tail, I'm gonna hold that over here. I like to, for the half double crochet, I like to chain 2. Okay, and then I'm going to turn my work so that the chains are horizontal. And I'm going to start like a regular half double crochet. And I'm going to insert my hook into the first chain that we made, so the one that's farthest from my hook here. So yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over again, pull up a loop. So this is very similar to how you make a regular half double crochet, but the trick with the foundation half double crochet stitches is that you want to remember to chain 1, much like, pull this back in here, when we make our foundation chains, and then you make your row of half double crochets. So when you're doing this all in the foundation half double crochet stitch, you have to make the chain and the stitch at the same time. So after you've pulled up your loop, think, I gotta make my chain, and then I can make my half double crochet stitch. So here's my chain, and that's where I'm gonna stick my hook for the next stitch. But I have 3 loops on my hook, just like I would with the half double crochet stitch now, so I can yarn over and pull through all 3 loops on the hook. If I turn it back horizontal, this is gonna be my very first foundation half double crochet stitch. There is the V on top, right next to where my loop is. It is kind of bulky compared to a regular stitch, but you'll see when we get going that it doesn't actually really get in the way too much or be that noticeable. So I like to work my foundation stitches vertically, perpendicular to my hook. That helps me keep track of where I need to stick my hook. And so let's get started with the next look at this stitch. So just like a normal half double crochet. We're just going to do a chain in between. So yarn over, stick your hook in between this V right here. Just stick it in the middle. And it also needs to go through, as you stick it in the middle, you'll see that if I turn my work to the side, there's another loop over here. So this is what I want to stick my hook under, both of those loops. I'm going to yarn over and pull up a loop. In order to help keep these straight, try and make that loop that you pull up equal to the height of the other loops on your hook. Yarn over, make that chain. I have 3 loops on my hook. I'm going to yarn over and finish out the half double crochet stitch. Okay, let's do it again. I'll take my hook out here so I can show you. This long loop, that was part of the loop that we pulled up. It's important that you try and keep that nice and loose as you go through, so it's easier to stick your hook under. But there's a V here. It's kind of difficult to see, but there's a V here, and that's where you want to stick your hook in between the V from that loop that you pulled up. And then if you turn it to the side, there's also a little V on the bottom. So this long loop and then the back side of the V, that's where you're going to stick your hook. So yarn over, insert your hook, and I like to have my finger right behind it. That kind of helps push the yarn onto my hook. Yarn over, make our pull up our loop just like a half double crochet, but we need to chain 1, and then we can finish out our half double crochet stitch. So I'll talk a little less this time. So yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull up a loop, make them the same height, yarn over and chain 1, yarn over, pull through the 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, chain 1, yarn over, pull through 3 loops. All right, let's make one more. Yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, chain 1, yarn over, pull through, and there you have it. A nice, even, perfectly stretchy foundation half double crochet stitch compared to the original traditional of long chain and a half double crochet. And you're ready to go. Let me know what you think. Comment down below, like and subscribe so that others can find these videos too. And let me know in the comments what other stitch tutorials you'd like to see, and I will get those going for you. Thanks everyone.